Western media has said that Traore has not done anything to eliminate the security crisis in Burkina Faso. They said that since Traore drove France out of the country, the insecurity has worsened, but that is all a lie, and we know why they have published such false news. The fact, however, is that with just a little support from non-Western countries like Russia, Traore has done tremendously well to beef up security in Burkina Faso. Recently, the Secretary General of the Burkinabe Ministry of Security announced that Traore's administration has launched the S24/7 security concept in every Burkinabe town. But what exactly does this mean, and how will it improve security in Burkina Faso? Let's find out. Insecurity has been the major challenge in Burkina Faso and other countries in the Sahel region. This insecurity was a spillover effect of the destruction of Libya by NATO and France. After Muammar Gaddafi's death, Libya was thrown into chaos. The government was dissolved, and insurgents took advantage of the situation to form armed rebel groups. These groups began to move around the region, abducting people and selling them to slavery, as well as terrorizing the innocent. Throughout all this, the West did absolutely nothing to help stop the crisis that erupted after their failed intervention. This is why we say that whenever the West comes into Africa to meddle and interfere, they usually cause problems, which they end up leaving for African countries to deal with alone. Now, among these numerous armed groups that arose after Gaddafi's death were the Tuareg rebels. You see, Tuareg rebels are a nomadic tribe among the people of Mali that has been fighting for their independence. They say that they want to break away from Mali and form an independent state in northern Mali. This has led to a series of uprisings in the 1960s and 1990s. Then again in early 2000 and between 2006 and 2009. In all this time, the Malian state government was able to defeat them, and by 2009, most of them fled to Libya to seek sanctuary. While in Libya, instead of allowing them to be a nuisance in society, Gaddafi decided to train them and merge them into the Libyan army. There, these Tuareg rebels found a sense of purpose. As such, the entire region of the Sahel was at peace. However, after the West eliminated Gaddafi, everything changed. Without Gaddafi, they no longer felt a sense of purpose, and the chaos that followed meant that they no longer had a place in Libya. As such, they immediately fled to Mali. However, in Mali, they refused to integrate into society and decided to continue the fight for a separate nation. They organized themselves under the banner of the National Movement for the Liberation of Azawa, and so began the start of Mali's crisis. Now, from what we have described so far, it may look like the Tuareg rebels are simply fighting for their independence, right? Well, the shocking thing is that that's not true. Think about it. How did people who fled Libya with nothing suddenly have weapons and ammunition to fight? The only way for that to happen is that they have an external sponsor. This was confirmed by the Prime Minister of Mali during an interview he had in January 2024. He said that in the same way, the UN Security Council sowed disorder in Libya by assassinating Muammar. It's the same way France sowed chaos in Mali. In his own words, the Prime Minister said that, so you create chaos, you arm people, you tell them to go and divide Mali. The separatists clearly said that it was France that was behind the separatist movements of 2011 from Libya. The leaders of the movement said France had instigated them to invade northern Mali and divide it and create an independent state. We are not the ones saying that. It is the leaders of this movement who say so and are supported by French politicians. Now, the insecurity caused by the Tuareg rebels in Mali began to spill to other countries including Burkina Faso, Niger, and Chad. Those Islamist insurgents saw the chaos in Mali as an opportunity to wreak chaos and destruction in the region. This was how Burkina Faso was embroiled in insecurity in 2015. In fact, it would shock you to know that the Tuareg rebels even worked with some of the Islamist terrorists for a period of time. Notable among them was the notorious JNM group, which has caused severe destruction in the Sahel region. Now, battered under the sheer weight of combating the crisis, the democratic government of the Sahel region decided to seek the help of France. This was how Operation Barkhane began, led by France militia forces. For almost 10 years, French military forces, together with some other Western military forces, were present in the Sahel region. They set up their bases and supposedly provided training and support to the fight. However, despite their superior military intelligence and weapons, the insecurity was not eliminated and neither was it even reduced. In fact, accurate research revealed that under France's watch, the insecurity became worse. These insurgents continued their relentless attacks, leading to the death of thousands of people and the displacement of many more. The worst part is that the militaries of these countries were inadequately equipped to deal with the crisis. But no one knew this until Traore took over power in 2022. It was President Traore and the other military leaders of the AES Confederation that exposed the sad state of things in their military. So they decided to do the logical thing and end things with France. They kicked out France and established more beneficial defense relations with non-Western countries. Although French and Western media have continuously castigated Traore's efforts towards combating the insecurity, anyone with eyes can see that Traore has done a remarkable job so far to beef up security. On Thursday, April 3, 2025, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Security, Commander Ahmed Ouedraogo, launched the S-24/7 security concept in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou. This concept was part of the National Days of Patriotic Engagement and Citizen Participation. This event, organized from March 26 to April 9, 2025, is to celebrate patriotism in Burkina Faso. This was the first edition in 2025, and it was held under the theme, "For Order and Discipline, I Am Committed." Several activities were carried out during the occasion, including the launch of the prize for the best citizen engagement, conferences on citizenship and citizen participation in schools, universities, and vocational training centers, and competitions on citizenship in schools. Speaking on the occasion, Permanent Secretary Modeste Yamiogo encouraged the citizens to follow the recommendations made by the head of state in his address to the nation on March 26th, where he invited every Burkinabe to materialize his patriotic commitment and civic participation through simple acts such as conscientious performance of daily tasks, fiscal civic-mindedness, respect for the highway code and courtesy in traffic, consumption of local dishes, wearing of traditional clothing. Now, it was during the course of the event that this marvelous security initiative was launched. This innovative concept combines video protection technology and the mission of police rescue. It was developed in order to strengthen the fight against urban insecurity. The S-24/7 security concept is a 24-hour, 7-week video protection system installed thanks to the Smart Burkina Faso project. According to the Secretary General of the Ministry of Security, Commander Ahmed Ouedraogo, the main objective of the Security S-24/7 concept is to reduce the intervention time of the rescue police, which is generally contacted in the face of emergencies. This concept also allows better coordination between the surveillance room and the rescue police through cameras installed in the city. Video protection is an essential tool that allows units in the field to fulfill their missions with greater efficiency, protect populations, and guarantee the tranquility of our cities, he said. He added that by providing the system to the police, it is a question of offering them the means to act with more precision, speed, and safety in the service of all Burkinabe. This video protection system is a great contribution to the rescue police in its missions. Among other things, it will facilitate and accelerate the intervention of the rescue police. In the event of an emergency call, images from the cameras located near the scene of the incident can provide essential details about the nature of the situation, explained Commander Ouedraogo. It will also contribute significantly to the safety of officers by providing them with a clear view of the situation before their direct engagement. In addition to this contribution, video recordings will be an analytical tool and will make it possible to reconstruct the course of events, identify possible witnesses, and collect objective evidence for subsequent investigations. This is remarkable. President Traore is a lover of technology and innovation, which is why he has supported such a remarkable concept to aid the police in doing their job. You see, with this system, the police would be able to quickly respond to emergency calls from Burkinabe citizens. This is because, with the video surveillance footage, they would be able to access in detail the exact situation of the victim and perpetrators. They would be able to know how to directly engage and the best approach to deal with any insecurity crisis. The system would also enable security forces to watch suspicious individuals moving around the city and take the appropriate actions. In addition to this, the knowledge that surveillance cameras are all over the cities might stop criminals and any destabilizers from carrying out nefarious activities. Now, the S24/7 concept has been installed in several cities in Ouagadougou and Bobo Dioulasso. The first phase being launched with several cameras located in said cities. The second phase will be launched in May 2025. This system aims, in the long term, to cover several regions of Burkina Faso. In addition to surveillance inside cities, this system also supports men when entering and leaving cities. Thus, it monitors and communicates information that may have escaped men. Several emergency police stations have been created in Ouagadougou, with a large number of officers to reduce intervention time. This concept is very well received by the internal security forces. This concept is welcome, and in the coming days, we will be able to improve even more, said Chief Police Sergeant Sum A. Abel, head of the post of the day at the United Nations Roundabout Security Post. In perspective, the ministry plans to expand the video protection system by covering other regional capitals and by equipping the System Management Center with tools, including facial recognition, license plate reading, and detection of certain road safety offenses. Eventually, the video surveillance system will be able to perform the video verbalization. However, the S24/7 concept is just one of the several initiatives that Traore has put in place to ensure that the security situation in Burkina Faso improves significantly. The question is, how many Western or French media have carried this news? The answer is none. But these media houses would not hesitate to carry news that shows Traore as a dictator who wants to hold on to power. This is not just hypocritical but a double standard. Fortunately, the citizens of Burkina Faso have chosen to stay true to their leader, and that is what true democracy is all about. While there have still been several insurgent attacks, the fact is that President Traore has made tremendous progress in beefing up security in Burkina Faso. Before Traore came on the scene, Burkina Faso couldn't properly outfit its military with the necessary equipment and weapons it needed to fight insecurity. This was because of the inhumane colonial agreement signed with France, which gave France exclusive rights over everything that concerns the Burkinabe military, including acquisition of weapons. What's even worse is the fact that Burkina Faso needed to get the approval of France before it could get any weapons, and this approval also included which country it could get the weapons from. This restriction meant that Burkina Faso could only get the weapons France allowed it to get, and it could only buy from Western countries. According to the Burkinabe defense minister, this agreement made Burkina Faso get many bad weapons that it couldn't use for exorbitant prices. It was terrible. No doubt France did this so that Burkina Faso will forever be reliant on it for military services. However, Traore's entrance into the scene changed everything. He ended the defense pact with France and kicked the French military out of the country. Then, he set about outfitting the Burkinabe military with good weapons and equipment. Traore revealed that when he first made his intentions to buy equipment, he couldn't get these equipment from the West because France and the US refused to sell, and even went as far as blocking Burkina Faso from buying from any other Western country. However, Traore did not give up and decided to look to non-Western countries including Russia, China, Turkey, and Iran. Now, one of the weapons he got which the Burkinabe military never had was drones. A few months ago, Traore acquired some of the most feared drones in the world, worth $30 million thanks to the collective contributions of its citizens and the careful management of state finances. These drones, known as the Bayraktar TB2 and the Bayraktar Akinci, have upgraded the security framework of the country. According to Traore, the drone has proven its worth since the beginning of our campaign, and the Akinci has exceeded even the highest technical expectations. Its rigorous tests in ceiling endurance, performance range, and speed have proven its reliability and high performance, he added. Traore further noted that the Akinci has already participated in combat missions, demonstrating its practical efficacy. However, one thing you should understand is that only a few people in the Burkinabe military have the capacity to operate drones. So, Traore decided to do something about this deficiency. In a significant step to enhancing its security and technological capabilities, Traore created a new drone pilot training center. This first-of-a-kind facility is set to revolutionize not just Burkina Faso, but Africa's capacity for drone technology and provide specialized training to equip military personnel with the skills needed to safeguard communities and protect natural resources. The training facility also aims to strengthen the operational capabilities of the Burkinabe Internal Security Force, ISF, in terms of drone piloting. Now, this training facility has finally borne fruit as several students graduated from the facility on October 12, 2024. How incredible! This means that Burkina Faso now has more people with the technical skills to operate drones and use them for military missions. You can imagine how excited President Traore was for these incredible achievements. And guess what? It wasn't just the military that was involved in this training. The Burkinabe police force, as well as other security operatives, including the customs, were all given the opportunity to participate in the training. And on October 11th, the Director General of Transmission and Information Technology, Chief Police Commissioner Zachariah Habier, chaired the end of training ceremony in initiation to drone piloting at the drone training facility. During the ceremony, the graduating students, who are the first sets, received their certificate, certifying them as drone pilots. Speaking at the ceremony, the Chief Commissioner praised the trainers and the students and congratulated those graduating. According to him, these drone pilots will be beneficial in retaking the territories currently occupied by terrorists. The commissioner further added that all measures will be taken to improve the quality of the next training sessions to ensure that only qualified drone experts are certified. But how exactly will this facility help to bolster the security situation of Burkina Faso? Well, the establishment of this training center addresses Burkina Faso's growing demand for skilled drone operators. By developing local talent, the center supports various critical areas, including 1. Border security and counter-terrorism efforts. Before the drones were acquired, the Burkinabe military had to rely only on foot soldiers monitoring the Burkinabe borders. Although this was necessary, it was not efficient and effective enough because sometimes the soldiers couldn't easily detect enemy attacks. However, with the help of the drones operated by certified drone pilots, the Burkinabe borders will be safer because the military can now use these drones to effectively monitor and secure borders against threats. Secondly, the drone facility would help to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of humanitarian aid and disaster response. Sometimes when an attack occurs, especially in remote villages where the military are not present, it usually takes time for the government to respond to the cries and pleas of the victims. But with the drones, which are constantly in the air monitoring things going on beneath, the government will be able to respond and send help in the case of enemy attacks or any humanitarian disaster. Finally, the drone facility would ensure sustainable development and resources management. Technology in the military is very important, and that is why Traore did not hesitate to build a school for learning drone technology. But not only will it bolster Burkina Faso's security, it will also position the country as a hub for innovation and security in West Africa, embodying the continent's commitment to self-sufficiency and security. It's admirable that Traore is pursuing the path of self-sufficiency, not just in agriculture, but also in the military. Imagine if every African country follows this path. There is no doubt that there would be no need for foreign military to set up their bases in Africa. But should we be surprised at Traore's decision to outfit its military? The answer is no. You see, right from the beginning, Traore has shown resilience and commitment towards building the Burkinabe military. This is because he understands how the insecurity has affected the country, and he knows that the only way to build Burkina Faso is to ensure that the insecurity is eradicated. The West might have blocked his path from acquiring the needed equipment and weapons, but Traore's determination and focus did not allow him to give up. This is why he turned to Turkey, China, and Russia for military weapons and equipment. The Bayraktar Akinci drone, for instance, was acquired from Turkey and is capable of tracking terrorists to any location within a range of 10,000 kilometers. There is no doubt that the continuous surveillance and precision strike capabilities of the Bayraktar drones will disrupt terrorist operations, making it difficult for them to plan and execute attacks without being detected. However, Turkey is not the only country that Burkina Faso has partnered with in terms of acquiring military equipment in recent times. During a handover ceremony held on the 12th of January 2024, Captain Traore unveiled a new set of high-grade military equipment bought from China. According to the information released, these weapons include armored vehicles, self-propelled mortars, and various weapons and ammunition. Traore revealed that the delivery is part of a strategic equipment plan that aims to strengthen the country's security forces in their fight against jihadist insurgents. At the ceremony, President Traore was seen inspecting 6 WMA 301 fire support vehicles, which are armed with 105 mm guns and made by Chinese company Norinco. He also examined 8 CS/SM-1 self-propelled mortars, which use a Dongfeng light tactical vehicle as a platform and have a caliber of 81 mm. Interestingly, these are the first of their kind to be seen in Africa. In addition, Traore was shown a series of shipping containers that contained a 60 mm WW-90 mortar and rounds for RPG-7 type recoilless guns. And according to Minister of Defense Brigadier General Kasum Koulibaly, this was the first of 5 consignments that are expected to arrive over the coming months under the Strategic Equipment Plan. The Strategic Equipment Plan had been earlier announced by Captain Traore in his televised speech on the 31st of December 2023, although he didn't provide much details, only saying that they would emerge over the coming year. And true to his words, these military equipment have been bought and are currently being used in the fight against terrorism. The successful acquisition of military equipment for the Burkina Faso military is a testament to Traore's commitment to leveraging cutting-edge technology to achieve national security objectives. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below.